There's a whole laundry list of places in which if someone is a law-abiding citizen, has a right to carry a concealed weapon, cannot, in a whole laundry list of places. My question to you is, where can they carry? And how did that balance, how did you strike that balance?
Well, thank you for recognizing a wonderful list of places we would never want to see the average person carrying a loaded gun. These are places that typically large or sensitive groups of people congregate and visit. And we gave it very careful consideration. And these are locations the reasonable person exercising common sense would have an expectation that guns are not being brought in except by law enforcement, active or retired. So my job is to explain where guns should not be. And I think this is an excellent list. My job is not to tell you where guns can go. So.
And so so what is left? Did you ever come to the analysis of where, if you're a person who has a permit, goes through this process, obtains the permit to carry concealed, and you're not a cop, retired, active,
right,
whatnot, where can you carry?
Well, daycares, you would not want guns. Women's shelter home, you cannot. A homeless shelter. My son's high school, my daughter's college. These are places we listed. I don't want to go to a football game and have to wonder why, some of the 70,000 people in the stadium might be carrying. I don't want to go to a rave party in some bar and worry that half the people in there are carrying. Our job is to regulate where, in this bill, where guns are reasonably prohibited. And this list is what we've came up with. If you have a specific place on our list that you would like to talk about, I certainly will entertain that. But my job is to write common sense into this bill, and that was listing places where a reasonable person would have the expectation that a concealed firearm would not enter.
So one of the questions I received from a constituent who is a licensed gun holder is, where can I carry then, was the question. And I can't give them an answer. I think they can in their car as long as it's locked up on the way to the range. Have I defined the extent? And if you don't know the answer, that's fine. I just don't know. I would like to be able to respond to a constituent as to where you can carry under this legislation.
So years ago, I used to fly an airplane. And I didn't get my license, though my sister did.
Oh.
She owed that over to me. But at some point I said, all right, where can I fly my airplane? Because if you look at a sectional chart, there's restricted airspace all over the place. So to fly, before you get in that plane, you plan out where you're going to go, where you're going to start. You plan out your trip, where you're going to land. You even plan out emergency locations. This will be similar to that. You're not going to mindlessly put a loaded firearm on your person and just leave the house.
Talking about person, why can't you carry it in a purse if you're a woman?
I
Where
thought
did
of
that
that.
holster comment come
Did you ever
up?
lose your purse?
Sometimes,
So
but usually it's in my house.
I'm not so
locked.
sure you can't.
You can't.
It needs to be in a holster.
Okay,
So
in
I
your purse.
define the holster because some people are talking about just keep it in your pocket. But I went back to my military training days, and what are the elements of a holster? It protects the trigger and the trigger guard. It keeps it in a safe place. It keeps it in a safe position. And if you could satisfy those safety requirements while in a purse, a carry, or a satchel, then you are in compliance.
Yes.
And remember, Flynn, I have 5 sisters, and more than half of them are gun owners for self-protection. And I did consult with my sisters.
And what did you tell them?
There's
about
5 of
where-
them. I refer to them as the jury.
Okay. And I think that's good advice. I think you should continue to follow that with your sisters. I agree. My brother would listen to me as well. But where would they carry their guns besides?
Well, between me and
you.
you, we don't tell my sisters anything.
Okay.
They carry they will carry in a location and in a manner that complies with the training that they in fact did get.
The point is that laws can be simply stricken down because they're vague, unclear, and that's one of the challenges I have with this law. Like, it's very clear in the sections in which you've listed. I'm not saying that what you were trying to achieve is not clear in terms of where a gun shouldn't be carried. But my question is, if you go through the hoops, get the permit, want to carry on a holster that's in your purse, that you don't lose, where is that? And that's not clear to me to be able to explain. And if you don't have an answer for that, I get it. But maybe we can talk about it.
Women can carry a concealed firearm in any place a man can. I don't know why there's a gender-specific
It's not a
slant
gender-specific
on the conversation.
It's not. It's really just trying to figure out where a person can, and where you're asked that question. You've identified
They could carry it anywhere on their person as long as it's concealed.
in any of the, but not in these sensitive places.
No, would you want them to carry it in any of these sensitive places?
I don't have a right. It's not what Vicky Flynn wants. It's what the Constitution says, and what the Second Amendment said is incorporated by the 14th Amendment, and what the United States Supreme Court just said in Bruin. It's not according to me. I don't have feelings as it relates to the law. I mean, and you asked me my question, do I have a gun? No, I don't. Would I apply for a permit? No. But that doesn't mean I have to sit here and apply the law as written and make sure that we're not wasting the taxpayers' dollars in defending a law that can't be defended. That's my biggest issue, Assemblyman. That's one of the largest issues I have, is that we're putting in place a law that does not conform with the Second Amendment. Anyone with a law degree would look at this and say this does not conform with the Second Amendment. It's going to be challenged, and we're going to spend a lot of dollars, and Assemblywoman McKeon and I can disagree on the Constitution.
I do have a law degree, and I disagree with you.
Right.
So, and I bet I'm not the only person, so.
No, but I think it relates to a policy, and I don't think if you're trying to identify and be consistent with the recent decision of the Supreme Court, this law is going to do it.